It's another one. We got another one. It's her. Who that? Big baby slide through in that drop top. Something by Benz looking cute. That's honest. Her and her friends, big blinks and snatch waist. Yeah, she brought to ain't no way. Somebody daddy ain't gon' give her the spins with her ends. Cause yeah, she did it. She did it again. A few more tracks and this time she bought friends. Big baby on her way up and showed the stats.
It's week 6 of the 2022 season, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. It's the Commanders and the Bears on Thursday night primetime.
Set to go now in week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Fielded right around the 8. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the second overall pick from BYU, now in his second season, Zach Wilson. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play. They keep on the ground with Elliott. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. On 2nd and 2, Wilson buying time to his left. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one good for 26 and a first down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 27. Inside give to Elliott. He's able to get 6, a nice pickup down to the 21. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They go to Elliott again. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Steps away to his left. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Zach Wilson hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Bears will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of the team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week, we're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So here are the Commanders making their way out. They'll be led out by Deshaun Watson. Of course, he won a national title at Clemson and already has 3 Pro Bowls under his belt in the National Football League.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass. That's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
To throw is Watson. There's Chris Olave. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Back to Montgomery on second down. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing on third down, Watson. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
From the 50, it's Watson. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So they take a decent shot, CD, and the flag comes out for pass interference.
Yeah, a little DPI, as they like to call it in the business, right? And the farther you get downfield, the more frenetic things get, and the more calm and control you have to remain as a defender. That was a little bit of a slip there, and the penalty will go against him.
From the 16, Watson. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the Commanders are going to have a first and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys that have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
On second down, Montgomery. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Now Watson on third and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Juwan Johnson from 3 yards out. And the Commanders are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And we are tied at 7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't have too much, don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Over the middle, complete. That's Edwards. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson on the slant. He'll get it to Jones. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
First down by Marvin Jones Jr. And he's got over 300 of those in a career, now in its 11th season. He's a guy who just plays so well season in and season out. Always averages about 50 to 60 yards a game and is well respected in the locker room. One of those players that everyone wants in their lineup and wants in their organization.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Elliott. On the stop was Aaron Donald. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Wilson. Forced out, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Aaron Donald. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. Flush to his right. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he's going to come up well shy of the 1st here as the tackle's made right around the 12. 7-7, our score after 1. Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession. Sly able to put this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks will tell us end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together. They've got a chance of coming out with the W.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Vita Vea in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
And now we'll see punter Tyler Newsome. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Pulled in at the 24. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Bears take over. So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. Jones, and it's a fumble. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot. Great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That good for 19 and a first down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Watson now to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. 2nd down from the 8. They can get a first down by reaching the 5. Back to throw, Watson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Montgomery going to be stopped before he can get moving forward as he'll lose a couple back to the 5-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Well, I know defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited about what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd down here.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. They try again with Montgomery. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
They'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Flushed out right. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Calling a loss of 2 there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
I know we saw the pass and the completion and obviously the resulting loss of yardage. To me, that play broke down with the blocking on it. Because if you're going to try and swing it that far outside, that blocking's got to hold up to give your guy a chance.
And the defense, they weren't fooled at all.
No, not at all. Boy, were they aggressive on that one.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And Gibson decides against bringing it out. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
On first down, Wilson. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. And Wilson going to keep it again. And now off to the races, down the right side. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. So that run there, yeah, I don't know if it's overstating things to call it a thing of beauty, but in terms of football plays, that's as good as you're going to see.
And what I really enjoyed about that run and what made it so impressive to me was how he improvised along the way. Sometimes on a big play, you just get the football and you take off in a straight line and go. But this time, how about the artistry of that play? That looked a little bit like a Picasso to me.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. They'll go option on second down, right side. All tied up at 10, 2 minutes left in the first half. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Not the first and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on first and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on second and goal? A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Interested to see what they dial up here. Third and goal with a lot of green between them and the end zone.
Now Wilson. He's got it. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3.
Sly able to put this one through.
And they will take the lead at 13-10.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And Washington going to come back out here to take over offensively.
It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. They'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 40. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Watson looks to throw again.
Again, it's Johnson. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Holding offense.
That's Will Hernandez, former second rounder out of UTEP. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Johnson.
And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout,
as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. 7th play in this drive coming up, and a long way to go on 3rd down. Now Watson. He's going to rifle one deep left side.
Touchdown, Washington. Chris Olave with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Commanders have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive.
And it was Chris Olave who finished things off with a touchdown. Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. Gibson gets hit and he fumbles it. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. One of the best of the early games, we'll highlight it there. The Giants in for a stern test at home at MetLife Stadium as they'll take on the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Lots to look forward to in the late games as well. One of the best being up in Seattle, where we find the Seahawks taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Then on Sunday night, a classic in the NFC East. You never know what can happen when these two get together. Cowboys and Eagles at 8:20 Eastern. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Washington. And even though they've got a halftime lead, they're likely devising ways as we speak to try and get a little more production from their passing game. Meanwhile, for the Bears, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
So here is Washington now to take over.
They've dropped 4 straight games coming into this one, remember, but they have the lead here.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Now it's Watson. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Give him 80 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off, because in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with this 4th down call.
37 yards on the punt with no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for the second half.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He said, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
And some space here.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. 56 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities. and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big game.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
Again, it's Elliott, and he is going to lose yardage here. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage.
Sometimes I think cornerbacks can benefit from the fact that quarterbacks might just forget about the idea that they might be near the line of scrimmage. How about the anticipation there, sneaking in and making a big play in the backfield?
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now it's Wilson. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Throwing is Wilson. He'll find Jones again, complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now back to the ground with Elliott. Now the ball comes loose. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills,
Yep.
and guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game. And that continued with that first down run.
Watson on first down. He'll get this underneath to Montgomery. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good for a Washington first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Running left, Montgomery. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. It's a gain of 6. Moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. Right now they're on the wrong end of the scoreboard, and that won't change if this drive ends like the last one when they had that lost fumble. So you have a feeling taking care of the football is certainly paramount right now.
Yeah, and it's not just the guy who dropped it on the last drive, is it? That means everyone who might touch the ball is getting the same message. Guys, ball security, paramount. Let's take care of it, and if we do, we've got a chance to put points on the board.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. On third down, Wilson. That's into the hands of Edwards. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
Holding, offense.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on third and long? Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about the coverage we just saw? Third down. Dime defense blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed. Unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. .45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over.
That's caught inside the 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 39 yards there, a big one.
As a general manager, you're counting on your first and second round draft picks to have a big-time impact on your team. But where you make your bones, rounds 3 through 7. If you can find a few diamonds in the rough there, develop them, then you've got something going, and we're seeing one right here.
Yeah, plays like that lead me to believe that they found a diamond in the rough. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. This carry, despite the extra effort, will be stopped short of the 10. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson, this is caught. Touchdown. David Montgomery, an 11-yard touchdown.
And the Commanders will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And the final act was the David Montgomery touchdown reception.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off.
Takes it at the 7. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
And now the Bears coming out as they get ready.
Well, these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Chris Olave heads back to the field as his guys get set for another possession.
They might want to mix something up defensively because he's been shredding them a bit, hasn't he?
That he has, and even with all the changes that you know are going on the defensive side of the ball, he's still finding ways to get open, finding the right spots, and the delivery's been pretty good too.
He's over 100 yards, has the 1 touchdown score to this point.
48 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Yeah, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully, and I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
He will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield.
Holding. Offense.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. Watson. And that will be incomplete. Washington going to send out their punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. From the 22, Wilson. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
A give to Elliott running left. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
Here's Wilson to throw. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th. That's caught at the 25. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. So on 4th down, a big-time completion. And the defense, they've got to be shaking their heads right now.
Not only shaking their heads, but understand that they committed one of those cardinal sins that they say they can't do at any time. They committed an eye violation, had their eyes in one place, and allowed the deep ball behind them.
The give is to Elliott.
Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run the option left. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
Here's Wilson. Escape, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
It was the linebacker, Shaquille Leonard, who applied the heat. Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on 1st and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick it up here moving forward.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Now it's Wilson. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Dancing to his left.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. Sly able to put this one through.
And that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
This one fielded at the 5.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back.
They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Got an open man. It's Olave.
Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. This will be the 8th play of the drive here, 3rd and 4. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. Down to a knee goes Watson, and that should just about do it for this ball game.
So it's Washington getting the victory here.
And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses.